I don't know if you clicked on this on purpose or on accident. You probably just missed the thing you were clicking on by a pixel. Maybe you were clicking on something really small and then a pop-up link showed up and it said, "Hey, listen to this guy's podcast." You're welcome for those, by the way. The government tried to make that illegal. Specifically, just my podcast was not allowed to advertise anywhere. But it was considered a public health threat. So they shut the whole thing down. But I think our RFK wants to let people know about the podcast again. He's one of the 2 people who are listening every week, I think. Look, I'll take anybody's business. But he went up to Trump and he's like, "Hey, we should let that podcast put ads on the internet." And Trump is just like 3/4 of the way down into a big bucket of caramel popcorn. He's like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sounds good." Can't do a Trump impression, and I don't care. There's more to me than how good I am at impressions. Half the time, I'm just trying to nail how I sound. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I talk. I don't have time to think of what kind of personality I'm supposed to have. I'm too busy trying to think of thoughts. It's like, oh, am I going to be, a dickhead today? I was a dickhead today. I wasn't friendly to anybody at work because I don't really know what it was. I think I just didn't sleep well, and I was like, hey, fuck you. Then I just like threw stuff at people, and I peed on the wall like I'm a dog acting out. Just like not being super friendly, but I have a good excuse because I was tired. But no, I just didn't really make conversation with anybody. I just sat in a room. Kind of like what I'm doing now. Huh. Isn't life so interesting? You spend most of it in a room. Unless you're somebody... If you're outside right now, hey, give me a weather report, why don't you? Anyway, coming up on that... Whoa. Did somebody just take me up on that? The phone line just lit up. Hello, you're on with the Purgatory Podcast. What can I do for you?
Hey.
Oh, it's you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chuck Charles, our traffic guy. I think one of the times we checked in with you, you were doing double duty, and so you were also doing the weather, and I guess I never rescinded that, so I guess that's still in effect. Is that why you're calling?
First of all, how did you immediately know who it was?
Because I have caller ID.
Well, why do you always pretend you don't know who's calling, then?
Because... Look, not everything has to be consistent all the time. And you know what? Something just dawned on me right now, which is that your first and last name are the same.
Yeah, my name's Charles.
That's so fucking stupid.
I know!
That's almost as stupid as the fact that I thought you could do the weather and do the traffic at the same time.
If you want me to give you the weather, man, I'll do my best.
Well, where are you right now?
I happen to be driving the official Purgatory Podcast traffic check vehicle.
There's another vehicle in the fleet in addition to the helicopter?
Yeah, it's a 2014 Honda Civic.
I don't remember signing off on that.
Look, I figure if I make it part of the podcast, then I can write my car off when I do my taxes, which I haven't done yet.
Well, you're way late.
No, it's okay, they extended it because legally I live in a state that got an extension.
For what?
We were one of those states that got attacked by giant man-eating moths. Remember, in August, like 20,000 people died?
Man, I guess there's just too much in the news, because that one flew under the radar for me. But more to the point, this is fraudulent, because you're not using that vehicle for business purposes.
Traffic is business.
No, it's not. It's traffic. Business is business. If this were a real program, there'd be a business guy and a traffic guy, so they can't be the same thing. Who's calling now? Oh, this is our finance guy. We haven't heard from him in a while. I wonder if he has anything to say about anything that happens to be in the news right now. I hope he's, handling this okay. He's on the line. Hello? Wow. He's, I guess he's not taking it that well, We're all processing what's going on in different ways.
Hey, learn how to drive. Oh, traffic is so much harder from down here.
Yeah, you've been in that helicopter for so long you forgot what it is to actually experience traffic. You abstracted traffic down into just raw data and information. But you forgot what traffic really means.
Yeah, being pissed off and going 10 miles an hour in a 50! Come on! Why are we stopping again? We just stopped. We're addicted to stopping. We have a stopping problem. We, collectively, everyone on the road, we all need to admit to each other that we're just giving into peer pressure. We see other people stopping and we stop. You don't have to stop. You don't necessarily have to stop.
The number one problem on the road is that other people are using it at the same time as me.
It's different down here in the trenches, man. It's different. Morality, ethics, everything goes out the window when you're locked down here with these apes piloting their death machines.
Maybe you should just be in the helicopter all the time.
You mean I can take it home?
Yeah, I mean, you probably got enough land for a landing pad, right?
Yeah, I'll just land it by the giraffe patch.
The giraffe patch?
Yeah, there's a bunch of giraffes behind my house, so I'll just land it there.
Just kind of, just the obvious thing is coming to mind. Like, it does seem like there's a logistical piece to this that you'll have to consider. Giraffes are not indigenous to where we live, so where did they come from?
Well, I don't know if I told you, but these days I'm living in a decommissioned zoo.
Oh.
Yeah, so, I gotta pay people to get rid of the animals, and, it's really rough right now, so I'm just kind of living it up, animal style.
Well, just build a really tall fence.
That's kind of problematic, don't you think?
What?
Given, the level of animus and division today, I think that's a little insensitive to say.
I mean a literal wall so that you don't decapitate a bunch of giraffes.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Pulling into my house now.
Okay, well, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I gotta really focus, because where I park is where all the little baby turtles are. You can't really see them, because they're kind of the same color as the ground, Evolution really backfired on them there.
Okay, well, great. Thank you so much for giving us all that extremely pertinent information about the traffic. That I think there's just a lot of data for the listeners to work with. Mr. Charles. It's such a waste of having a first and a last name if you're going to make them both the same. They should just cancel out. And then if someone asks you what your name is, you say nothing, because you have no name. Unless you have a middle name, then I guess you can use that. So hopefully you don't have an embarrassing middle name. Hopefully it's not just like hiding there in between your first and last name, hoping to never be noticed. If you do happen to be named Bob Robert by some inconceivable accident, legally you can go to town hall and they will fast track you to change your name because you were named Bob Robert. You have to put in for a Bob Robert application. You're like, somebody named me Bob Robert. And they'll fast track a name change so that you can have a real name. Just a tip, that's just something our government does for us. Anyway, if you clicked on this episode but you were really like shopping for a watch or something, sorry that this is different. You could just open another tab. If you're looking to tell the time, there's nothing better than a watch or a clock. Those are all better than a man named Slurp Von Lipstick, who hosts a segment on this podcast that is known as Time Check. And with Time Check, it's exactly what you're going to get. It's just somebody telling you what time it is. But he understands the numbers and what they mean on the clock, which I do too. But I mean, he really gets it. He really dives deep on the numbers. I mean, not really. He kind of just talks about himself. And to just do that in front of a mic for an extended period of time, it's a little self-absorbed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Slurp Von Lipstick coming out, man. Hey, thank you so much, thank you. Which one of you is the loud one? There's always one guy in there who's louder than everybody else. It's the same guy every time. I want to talk to that guy. I want to get to know his psychology. It's like, why are you so loud? It's like people who just whistle really loudly in a crowd while cheering in a way that just drowns out everything else. It's like, why are you doing this? It's not a competition. We're all trying to make noise together. We should all be equally loud. But you're gonna let others shine too. We're trying to show our appreciation for the guys who were throwing that ball around. Anyway, my name's Slurp Von Lipstick, and this is a sports segment now. I'm not gonna say anything about the time. Taking a break from time. In sports this week, they actually figured out a way to make the most round ball ever. It was actually 3D printed, and it's infinitely round. Don't ask me what the fuck that means. I'm not a sports guy. So I don't know, there's not much going on. It's, off season for a lot of sports, so we're just trying to make balls more round. Every year they try to get the balls to be more round. It makes the playing more precise, and it makes it more good. Okay, that's all I know about sports. Now I'll read the time. It's 11:09 p.m. Oh, somebody's calling. Oh, this must be the person who I'm supposed to do a time check-in with. Well, if they're calling me, that defeats the whole purpose, but I was late. Damn it. This person's name is... Oh, it's Bob Robert, who wanted me to call him to remind him to pack his lunch because he won't wake up early enough to make his lunch for tomorrow, so might as well just do it now and put it in the fridge.
Hey, what's up? It's me, the Pope.
What? Who is this? Wait, is this the host of the Purgatory podcast? Or should I say co-host?
No, you're a co-host. I'm host.
So that's a prank? You don't actually need to pack a lunch for tomorrow?
I was actually, it's funny, I was actually trying to dial my watch guy, but I accidentally missed it by a pixel, and I called you instead.
Well, who was the guy who had to make the sandwich, then?
I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, I'm hanging up.
Alright, see you later.
Damn, so what about the guy with the sandwich? Oh, there's his number. Okay, I'll call him now then. Hopefully I'm not too... Ah, shit. I meant to call him, but I somehow actually just deleted his number from my phone. I was trying to do a swipe. Look, I can't baby you. You gotta remember things. Set a reminder on your phone. I have higher aspirations than this. I could be home, like doing dishes or wiping down surfaces. Physically, I might be here hosting Time Check, but in my mind, I'm doing the dishes. And that's all you need to know about me. My name's been Slurp on Lipstick. See you later. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Slurp Von Lipstick, the host of Time Check. Yes, I hear you giving it up. You all seem to be clapping equally to me, I don't know. It seems an even distribution overall. And for that, actually, I applaud you for once, audience. Coming up next, we got a new animal they just found. It's called Doug. The species is Doug. I think it was just named after the guy who discovered it. He didn't let anybody change his... A lot of people tried to talk him out of it. His wife, all of his friends. I heard they actually staged an intervention. And they're like, you at least have to call it something like Dougus Maximus or whatever, Like, weave it in there. Don't just make it all about you. And I heard Doug said repeatedly, he said, no, I'm Doug. And so are those things over there, those fuzzy creatures. And they're fuzzy. I know it because I was just petting one, and it's now in the studio with me. Sounds about as cute as it looks. Wow, very cute. So hey, do you go by Douglas or Doug or just... Oh, that's great. That's great. That's gonna be great in an audio podcast. And now this is the part where I move around in the chair a little bit. My butt is no longer agreeing with this chair, the way that I'm sitting in it currently. My butt is fine. It's just like, it's the kind of shape where, like, you just look at it, you're like, that butt ain't doing anything. That's a butt that just is, it's not doing any work. That's an unemployed butt. It's the only part of my body that doesn't have a job. I mean, other than the obvious biological one. But other than that, it's in no way visually arresting. So, it's just there. It is what it is. It's fine. Your butt is the butt you get, and there's no buts about it. I just have a butt that's like, it wouldn't make any difference if it was there or not. And there are a lot of parts of the human body that don't need to be there. I mean, everybody knows about the appendix. It's just an accidental organ, When a human body is created, whatever is in charge of that process... It's like, I just made an organ by accident. Fuck. well, I guess I'll just leave it there forever. As you do. It's like, what? Who's in charge of this? Get it together. Whatever force is behind it, whether it's natural selection or intelligent design, or perhaps some combination of both, which happens to be the position that I hold. I mean, the atheists have a point when they say, if the ruler of the universe created DNA, created life, well, it seems like there was a lot of oversight for, an omnipresent, perfect being. And you gotta, atheists, put a point on the scoreboard, because it's pretty hard to argue against. Why is the body so just not good? It's just not good a lot of the time. Exhibit A, my ass. But on the other hand, you have religious people who would argue, well, there just isn't enough information contained at the subatomic level that drifts towards the kinds of organized systems that can support life, including the cell. But of course, natural selection happens. I mean, there's abundant evidence for it, and if you think about it, it's kind of logically unavoidable that would happen. But that's a different question than abiogenesis, which is the theory of where life originated. And for that, you have to go down to the cellular level. The cell in itself is like this little city, and all the parts need to work together perfectly. So how could it have evolved one part at a time? It's like saying a car evolved. It started with the engine. Well, the cellular equivalent of that is a biologically non-viable organism. If it's only got one part, it dies. Doesn't pass on any genetic information. So there's a problem here. So the two sides have a point. And my middle ground is, it wasn't God, and it wasn't evolution. So what does that leave? Some fucking alien, probably. It's fine, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter if it's an alien. It doesn't matter why we were made. It doesn't matter why we exist. It doesn't change anything about your day-to-day life. But I'm saying that represents the midway point between completely random natural processes and the smartest guy in the universe, aka God. It doesn't check out. I mean, just examine the evidence. So what's the third option? I mean, this is just like normal human reasoning, isn't it? Isn't this just how people think? And then you consider, well, it's a big universe. I think most people are open to the idea that we're probably not entirely alone. So why wouldn't they just decide to be like, what if we made a guy and a lady? Or, a bunch of guys, a bunch of ladies. I don't know how it started. The fucked up thing about, the origin of human life is that at some point, it was just a bunch of kids. It was just kids running around. It was a world of children. They're like, there's no adults yet. we just started. I mean, I understand it's a long, gradual process, but there's no evidence really linking us to the intervening primate evolutionary pattern, because we missed some of the fossils. It's famously called the missing link. Here's a little ooga ooga monkey, and then suddenly there's a guy who's walking around and he's like, hey, how's it going? There's no real explanation for the gap at all. Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. Anyway, if there was anything I said just then that was, inaccurate, you can send your complaints and feedback to slurpvonlipstick@timecheck.com. He'll get back to you immediately. I believe Slurp Von Lipstick also accepts snail mail, because he's actually said to me that anything that gets sent to him over the mail, he chops it up into tiny little pieces and he feeds it to snails. I'm like, you should probably look at what it is first, like if it's a bill or something. And he's like, I don't care. The snails must feed. So yeah, hopefully he's on auto pay. And hey, what's left to say? Goo goo gaga? No, that's what you say when you start with life, not at the end of a podcast. In fact, those were my first words. I kind of just came into being. I looked around and I said with perfect elocution and perfect articulation, goo goo gaga. and the doctors were stunned, and I was immediately inducted into Mensa. Do they induct you? I don't know how you get in there. Do they confirm you? Is it like becoming the Pope? Well, they don't confirm him. They consecrate him. They ratify him? They elect him. What's the proper nomenclature? I'm looking it up right now. The Apostolic Constitution lays out a schedule for voting until a new pope is chosen by a 2/3 majority of the ballots. This is insane. Why is it so complicated? Just find the oldest guy. That's always the one who gets it. It's kind of like elections in America. Just be like, who's the oldest, worst guy? He can't just be old. You understand? It can't just be an old guy. He also has to suck. I mean, I'm not saying that applies to the Pope specifically. We've had good popes. Maybe we'll be getting another one. Maybe another one's in the pipeline. Excuse me, the Popeline. Again, I just want to get the nomenclature right. I don't want to offend anybody, which Christians are famously not prone to. As everybody knows, they're very chill. As for what I am, yeah, I think now's a good time to get into this. I'm just, whatever. I'm just, I'm all over the shop. I think all of the religions had a little piece of the truth, and they were kind of fragmented, and you have to figure out how the puzzle pieces fit together, and then that's your belief system. By the way, just because I don't think God made humans doesn't mean I don't think there is a God. I think there is. But I think it's much more a nuanced kind of God. This God, he's a little bit different. God is just consciousness. So, figured it out. If anybody was interested, I just, if we're still having this conversation about, is there God? Yeah, I think so. So, that's it. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done here. Do you need something for me? Huh? Huh, punk? Yeah, that's right. Walk away. Walk away from this like it never happened. Alright, I'll see you next week.